Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Good morning. In the present video, I will be discussing chapter number 2, specific aims of education. So in my previous videos, I had discussed with you what is an aim, what is the aim of education, what are social aims of education, individual aims of education. In this video particularly, I will be discussing about specific aims of education, and that too primarily about citizenship aims. So now, when we talk about citizenship aim, it's actually that we are interested that our students get educated, and the main motive of providing them education is that we want to make them good citizens. So, good citizen is actually an umbrella term. It encompasses a lot of things. Good citizen implies that you're wanting that your students become active citizens, participative citizens who are aware of their duties, who are aware of the rights of citizens. All this become, included under the category of a good citizen. Now, when you are educating children from early ages, that is, from the beginning, 5, 6 years only, you start their formal education. What is happening is that you are laying foundation that they become clear thinkers. And that is something which is very important for a person to become a good citizen. Clarity in mind, as in which direction to take at what time, whom to talk to at what time, what is it which is going to be most beneficial for my fellow citizens. All this kind of clarity is actually something which is very essential uh, to be a good citizen, and it happens only if you have an educated mind. So when you are an educated person, you become enlightened, and you become an enlightened citizen. So you learn the concept of fairness. You understand, that you're not supposed to discriminate anyone on the basis of caste, could be on the basis of color, race, creed, on their religion, based upon their language, based upon the region that they're from, North Indians, South Indians, different religions we have now, especially in India, when, there is a diversity of cultures. There are so many languages, there are so many dialects. It's very important that a good citizen understands that he is supposed to act in a fair manner and do no injustice in terms of act or actions to any of his fellow citizens. So this concept of fairness also can be inculcated in the mind of a citizen only, if he has an educated mind. And through education, you understand that, yes, these are my duties towards my country. I need to be an active citizen. I need to contribute in terms of voting. It's my duty that I should not in any manner harm the Constitution of India. It's my duty that I should in any manner not harm the property of my country, of my nation. And this person is also well aware about his rights. That, right to information, then this is my right that, I should be voting, my right that I can, express my opinion and thoughts. So participate in the decision making processes of the society as well. We want citizens who are active participants. We want citizens who have a say in the decision making processes of the society also. In the different institutions of society, we want that our youth, our citizens contribute. We do not want citizens who are passive citizens, but we are actually looking forward for people who are active citizens. And that is possible only through education, where you are well aware about the circumstances of the country, of the society, and you know where to contribute in a productive manner. Every nation is always looking for good citizens. So that is something which is, we every nation is always having an eye for. So it's important that that happens, and that is possible only through education. So education is going to teach a person, how to discharge their duty in the most effective manner and in an efficient manner. So there are many ways of, exercising your powers and doing your duties in different methods. But which is the most efficient and productive method? It's important that a person is aware of that. Again, that comes from education, understanding of the laws of your country. Very important. and understanding about the ethics, about the norms and values of the society in which you belong to. So this is again a very major citizenship aim which can be satisfied if education is provided to students of our nation. Then citizenship education is essential for preparing young people for a democratic life. So India is a very big democracy where there is, the government is by the people, it's for the people. So it's important that, this is kept in mind. Students, educated students who can face all the challenges and opportunities of the changing world, right? So technological advancement, which is happening across every nation, students and good citizens who can contribute in that manner to the technological advancement, to the scientific advancement, to the research and development of the nation, exploit the opportunities which are coming in their way, understand the challenges and act in the most appropriate and pragmatic manner as per the requirement of the situation. The current pandemic situation is actually a challenge for the entire nation. So acting in a very, collective manner, acting in the most efficient manner, the most wise and realistic and rational manner is what is expected out of every citizen of India, which again is possible through education. So you might have understood by now, you might have, read about it, watched about it on television also. We understand that there's some people who oppose wearing masks. So these are usually, I am not, with due respect to every person and every section of society, but then if you are educated enough to understand the gravity of the situation by wearing a mask in the present COVID circumstances is important. If you can understand and appreciate, from where all this is coming, that science is backing this thing, and it's not something which, one section of the society is trying to impose on the people. It's something which is happening across all nations, nothing which is, vehemently being kind of, forced by the Indian nation. So it's important that, we as a nation, as educated minds, work collectively, especially during circumstances which are challenging, uncertain circumstances. And it's also important to understand that democracies depend upon citizens and the aims of citizenship education. And these aims of citizenship education are to bring awareness about the rights as well as the responsibilities of a citizen. So it's, a reciprocal relationship where you, as a citizen of any nation, you have your own rights as well. And at the same time, you have certain responsibilities and duties to carry out. To give information about the social and political world. So if you are an educated mind, you will eventually become a good citizen also, because you will have information about your social world. You will understand your own country, with which country it's having good social interactions, with which country it's not really having those good close social interactions. You will understand for which country, there is prejudice, etc. So all the group dynamics, all the social dynamics, social understanding, interactions, you will be in a position to understand that and evaluate that. At the same time, you will gather knowledge about the political world as well. Also, you will be in a position to articulate, that is, express properly your opinion and your arguments. So if there is, some law, some opinion which is given by somebody in the, let's say, political world of the nation, you will be in a position to express clearly that, that we agree to this, we do not agree to this. If you're not aware about what is happening in your nation, if you're not educated enough to understand what is happening in your nation, you will not have any opinion towards what is happening. Or the other possibility is you are going to oppose just everything. You will not be in a position to understand rationally all the situations, but you're going to oppose just everything if you are, somehow you do not like the present government. So this is important to understand, that if you're educated, you will become a good citizen and you will be in a position to express your opinion as well as arguments. At the same time, to make them concerned about the welfare of others. So virtues such as brotherhood, virtues such as social interest, not only limiting your actions to your own individual interest, but actually moving forward, moving beyond that and thinking about social interest. At the same time, Having an understanding about civic sense. So when we talk about, making our environment clean, keeping an environment clean, when we talk about, parking in a rational manner, we're talking about civic sense. Also, students will understand and will be capable of influencing the world. So students who are good orators, students who can think, beyond a particular situation, this means like visionary students is what we are wanting. So they will be in a position and they will be capable enough to influence the world, to make them active in their communities as well as society. So again, I would reiterate this point that activeness is very important. Just being a citizen of a particular nation and not contributing at all is not that, we really approve of. So to make them active in their communities as well as societies in any manner. So whatever profession that you are engaged into, you are contributing through that particular profession, to make them responsible as citizens. All these things can be possible through education only. Limited experiences through ordinary experiences at home, school, or at work. Now, if you feel that, experience can be the only teacher, experience will educate you. That is very true. Experiences teach you a lot. Practical exposure teaches you a lot. Your experiences at home, your conditions at home, your environment at home, school also, work also, all these factors influences. So if you're just staying back at home and let's say you are, from childhood days only, or let's say, you drop out of school after 5th standard or maybe 10th standard, and then you start working and you say that, you're getting practical exposure. So you will eventually learn about your society as well as your culture, etc. To an extent, it's okay. But your entire education needs to be completed first. That is very important. Experiences at home or at work at a tender age will educate you, but they will be limited experiences only. Your experiences will be complete experiences only if you are vigilant at home also, active in school also, you finish your schooling, you finish your college, and you work also. So all these things are very important. Citizenship education should be inclusive, that is, irrespective of a particular caste or religion. It's important that every section of society is, given this opportunity to get educated. Therefore, it's important that the education is holistic in nature and inclusive in nature, where you're including every section of the society, as well as it should be something which is lifelong. So it's not something that, you can understand only through books or, till 10th standard or 12th standard, let's say. This is something which is an ongoing process. It's never going to end. Citizenship education, especially when you talk about the rights of citizenship, when we talk about, becoming a good citizen, it continues for the entire lifespan. Education in a democracy, therefore, should be based on the finest qualities of head as well as heart. So, when we talk about the virtues of head, we are talking about thinking in a rational manner. We're talking about thinking in a reflective manner. We're talking about thinking in a pragmatic manner, where we understand how to act in a particular situation, where we understand that we need to adapt and we need to evolve according to the particular situation. So that's, the finest virtues of head. When we talk about the finest virtues of heart, that is about, brotherhood. That's about civic sense. That's about giving respect to every fellow citizen. So all these things come through education and therefore turn you into a good citizen. You also tend to become loyal individuals because you understand what all sacrifices which have been made by your ancestors, your forefathers. You read about history, right? You read about geography, etc. So you tend to become loyal individuals. And it's important that individuals are trained to take the responsibility for peace of the nation. It's important that they understand about the prosperity and the well-being of the nation, how important it is. It's important that, the well-being of the nation is maintained. Students also learn about the social aim and citizenship aim through education. It may appear that both of them, are similar, but if you look deeply into it, you will understand that there is slight difference into it. Now, what is the difference between social aim of education and citizenship aim of education. So when we're talking about social aim, we're actually referring to blind obedience. So you're only thinking about the welfare of the society. You're not thinking about your own individual interests. You are blindly obeying the social norms, rules, practices, etc. But that is not something which is required in citizenship. Individuals' rights are given a lot of emphasis in citizenship aim. Individual rights are taught in detail in citizenship aim. So when we talk about social aim, we are only talking about, contributing to the society, thinking about the welfare of the society, social interest. That is the foremost thing in our mind, and we are blindly obeying it, blindly doing it, blindly acting in that manner. But when we talk about citizenship aim, we're talking about social aim. At the same time, we are also talking about individual rights. So that is the major difference between these two terms. When we talk about democratic countries, citizenship aims are propagated. India is a democratic country, so citizenship aims are propagated. They are propagated both for the welfare of the nation and at the same time to maintain individual dignity. So, individual dignity as well as individual rights are laid a lot of importance in citizenship aim of education, but not so much in social aim of education. So there is a very important question that we need to understand, and this question is that why today there is a shift to schools for education. So why is it that we are not depending upon our primary caregivers, that's our parents, only for the education purpose? Why is it that we have to depend upon some external agency, some external institute that is a school for education? So let's look at a case and we'll get to know about this a little better there. One second. So the case says that in ancient times, what used to happen was that life was very easy and life was also very simple, and people had time for each other. A son would adopt the profession of his father, whatever it may be. It could be like craftsmaking, could be agriculture, anything that his father used to do. So there was hardly any need for some guidance or training coming from outside the home, which means no external agency was needed to educate children. The father was there to train the son in the profession. However, in the modern age, when we look at it, with advancements in different fields, that's in the fields of science, in the field of technology, in the field of industrialization, the simple social structure of the past has been changed. Now, parents are busy in offices. It's a fact. Parents are busy in factories, could be in fields also, and they have hardly any time to train their children. Now, the educational institutes therefore have to perform these functions which the parents were performing till now. So, that is where we understand that there is a need for schools for the purpose of education, and that is why there is a shift to schools for the purpose of education. Okay, let's move forward. Alright, it's important to understand that education is actually very purposeful. It's something which is very useful, it's beneficial, rather than only being ornamental. Which means that, if there is a person who has done his education in, let's say, medicine, in science, could be, he's a PhD or he's a master's, let's say, an MBA, MCom, etc. So it's not something that he is just, wearing it as an ornament and telling people that I'm proud of it, that I am well educated. It also has a purpose attached to it. And because he's educated, he can actually work because he has the understanding of that particular subject. He has practical exposure of it, so it's actually having a use for that person. Now it's his wish whether he wants to take it up as a profession or not. But you can say, and you can view it from one angle as that it gives a bread and butter aim, which means that it gives you an opportunity where you can actually work and earn your bread and butter. That is, become financially independent and also financially secure. Okay, Gandhiji, now this is something which is very famous, and it is, Gandhiji actually vehemently said that earning while learning should be the aim of education. So it's not only that you should be learning and understand what things are about, it's also that you should actually exercise all that. So exercise it and earn with the learning that you're receiving. Earning livelihood is an essential function of human life also. You cannot actually function and you cannot have a happy life if you're not financially independent. So it's important that you have some kind of livelihood also. So we have to impart education according to that, which means to earn a livelihood, it's important that a person is educated enough. Financial independence therefore comes if you are a well-educated person and you have deep understanding about any field that you are interested in and you have opted for. According to John Dewey, he is a very famous educationist. He says that to find out what one is fitted to do is in the sense that, in terms of capacities, capabilities, and potentiality, whatever you are fitted to do, whatever you should be opting as your profession, based upon your interests, based upon your values, based upon your temperament, whatever you are fitted to do, and to secure an opportunity to do it is the key to happiness, which means that depending upon your capabilities, your desires, your values, your interests, and then to secure an opportunity to do that, to get educated and then work based upon that education that you have received, that is the key to happiness. So first is understanding your capabilities and your interests, then getting educated in that particular field or area of interest, and then securing an opportunity to actually, work in that particular field. All this is the key to your happiness. Schools should show different paths and vocations to children, and that is something which is very important. Not only it is the responsibility of the school to educate a young mind, it is the responsibility of the schools to give different avenues and paths and opportunities to the school, to the children. Different vocations they should be bringing to the students, that these are the career opportunities or career paths you can actually take, and then you can exercise all that once you have fully educated. So it's important that they provide the right atmosphere and the different opportunities and the platforms which are required. Now, in good schools, you will find that good schools promise, claim, and actually do this also. They give placement orientation sessions to their students. At the same time, they provide placements also to students. So depending upon the area of interest of the student and depending upon his merit, etc., they are placed in different companies. And also trainings are given to students, especially the ones who show interest in a particular field. So what they do is they bring resource persons from outside, and then 1 week training, 2 weeks training, depending upon the the requirement of that particular topic or that subject. Proper trainings are given to students so that they can, once they have finished their education, they can actually make use of it and then get a good job for themselves. Education Commission of India focuses vocalization of education, vocationalization of education. That is, you get yourself educated and then after that, you take a job. So learning and earning again is emphasized by Indian education system. It's not only that you learn and then, you stay back at home. It's important that you learn and you do something about it. That is, you earn also based upon all the learnings that you have received. Okay, now towards the end of the chapter, you have exercise given where there are different categories of question. Under the category of short answer questions, you have a question number 8, which says, what is the role of school in vocational awareness? So over here, you can talk about, giving trainings, giving opportunities, giving sessions to students where they talk about the importance of education. They talk about the importance of work, living, a life where you are learning also and earning also. So if you've gone through this video, you basically get the crux about how to handle this particular question.